Peace is always the best option. Unfortunately, peace may not always be an option. I've talked about dozens of different methods for deterring, discouraging, or otherwise disarming an antagonist while standing up for ourselves. But what do you do when that doesn't work? Let's examine what one bad apple did wrong. One bad apple's conclusion perpetuates a flawed zero-tolerance mantra that puts someone who's defending themselves on the same moral plane as their antagonists. Ultimately, this discourages victims from defending themselves, not only for fear of consequences from authority, but also the unnecessary guilt from being taught that what they did was wrong. As a result, the problems are never truly solved and the bully will continue to antagonize their victims. The victim is often left with no choice but to hold inside the pain that this causes, which, in turn, only eats away at the victim from both the inside and the outside. We've likely all seen the depression and bottled up rage that follows suit, and this can only last for so long before it explodes into something far worse than whatever we were trying to prevent by telling the victim to not stand up for themselves, ranging in anything from escapism, to lashing out at others, or even self-harm. Showing a bully a consequence for their behavior does not make you a bully. However, resorting to violence as a primary means of retaliation does. This was the problem that I had. Unfortunately, retaliating physically is in fact the quickest way to deter future conflicts, and I took full advantage of this fact while I was in high school. After all, why would someone bother going through all of that painful trial and error and wasted time in solving a bully problem when it can be dispelled with under 1 minute of physical pain? It wasn't until my college years that I started observing other people successfully implementing strategies that didn't involve violent retaliation. It was here where I learned about the ladder of escalation and how it applies to this situation. First step, ignore the bully. Some of them get enjoyment out of your reaction, so if there is no reaction, they have no reason to pursue you. Second step, pursue the bully peacefully. The best way to defeat an enemy is to make them a friend. Find out exactly why they're acting this way and see if you can help them. And if you're open-minded enough, you might just learn something about yourself as well. Third step, bring the problem to an authority. Sometimes a consequence like this will deter them in the future. Fourth step, know that the third step comes with a risk, as the bully may heighten their efforts against you in order to keep you from going to an authority again. Hold your ground and let them know that you will defend yourself if they continue. Fifth step, this is the last resort for when your physical or mental health is at stake. If a bully persists after you've warned them, then it's time to hold your ground, back up what you said in the fourth step, and fight back. Now, I'd be willing to wager that a good number of you think that I'm a terrible person for suggesting that. Some others are thinking, I can't do that, I'm weak. I can assure you from first-hand experience that persistence is victory. Sometimes all it takes is one good hit to scare an opponent off of you, even if you're ultimately weaker than them. Sometimes you just have to keep getting back up after you've been knocked down. The feeling that you get from standing up for yourself in this way will wash away the pain of being victimized. And even if you lose, try again next time, because each subsequent attempt will get easier. And never mind the consequences either. You might get in a little bit of trouble, but that trouble is temporary, and it's a small price to pay for the satisfaction and peace that will follow. Regardless of what the dysfunctional concept of the zero-tolerance system may tell you, standing up to your bullies is not only the right thing to do for yourself, but others as well. Be assured that you are not their only victim. By directly teaching a bully the consequences of their actions, you may deter them from their other victims as well, thus spreading peace. Even people who believe that violence is never the answer have eventually admitted to me that they wanted nothing more than to take action back when they themselves were victims. And if you're worried that you might get hurt, let me know. I'll point you in the right direction so that you can avoid this by strengthening your mind and body preemptively. Remember that no anti-bullying or zero-tolerance policy will help you. Only you can empower yourself, and your true friends will be there as your support. Now let's examine what one bad apple did right. Babs didn't understand that she was becoming what she hated in a futile effort to avoid getting bullied for her own blank flank. This can be a message for everyone out there who does this themselves. Additionally, the Cutie Mark Crusaders didn't understand that there is no shame in bringing a problem to Applejack's attention. Everything that happened in this episode could have been avoided if they had taken the proper steps in the ladder of escalation. The peaceful solution is always the best option when the peaceful solution is an option. Although I disagree with the implications that standing up to a bully makes you one yourself, I will not deny the effectiveness of attempting communication first. The Cutie Mark Crusaders and Babs realized this and used it at the end of the episode to stand up to their bullies without resorting to Greek mythological allegories. We would all be a lot happier in our lives and with ourselves if we could do the same. And that's the moral of the story. If you have something you would like to see discussed or reviewed, you can drop your suggestions by following Brawny Buck on Tumblr or sending an email to bronydebates@gmail.com. This video has been brought to you with the assistance and support of Irish John, Corpulent Brawny, Swift Yuki, Countess Marie Rose, Halfling Pony, and Anna Madsen. Please be sure to check out their content linked in the description and thank them for all their hard work. Feel free to check out my Patreon to see how you can support my channel and what you'll get in return. Have a great day, and I look forward to hearing from all of you soon.